Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansi Kalapa. With me is an investment banker turned politician. We have with us Mr. Shrikant Narasimhan, an investment banker who gave up his job to fight for Bengaluru. He started the Bengaluru Navanirman Party. And today they have been fasting from early this morning and protesting against the Greater Bengaluru Bill. So Mr. Narasimhan, what exactly is your objection to this bill?
Thanks, Bansi, first of all, for having me here. There are four key demands that we have. At a fundamental level, we are not opposing the bill per se. We believe the city needs a good bill, but there are quite a few provisions in this bill that are really bad. So there are four key demands that we have. Demand number one, we need an empowered mayor and council. And by that what I mean is the mayor should have the power to appoint a council of ministers at the city level.
So something like a CM in the city.
Just like the CM in the city, exactly. And just like the PM for the country. At the city level, the mayor should have the power to appoint a council of ministers and the bureaucracy.
So just one question. The moment you do that, the state government, even during the previous BJP government and in the Congress government, the moment they talk of elections to the council, city council, they become unhappy or insecure.
Yeah.
So we have seen BJP government during that time, the election was delayed for almost 2 years.
Correct.
And the Congress government has come into power for about nearly 2 years, maybe 20, 21 months. They have not held elections.
Correct.
So no government is secure with because that is tier 3 of government.
Exactly.
So on some pretext or the other, they delay that election.
Absolutely. And they don't want to decentralize power. They, for them it's almost like creating more power centers, which they don't want to. Absolutely. But then the key is the Indian constitution very clearly defines a municipality as an institution of self-government. There should not be any state government interference in the municipal government at all. And that's why we are seeking constitutional principles to be implemented, mayor to have the power to appoint a council of ministers, and the bureaucracy comprising the chief
and this
commissioner.
term also has to be a 5-year term? Or
Absolutely. I would want a 5-year term and the bureaucracy comprising the chief commissioner and below to report to the mayor. And as you rightly said, these are exactly the powers that the chief minister enjoys at the state level, the prime minister enjoys at the national level. And that's very important for them to deliver their functions and also to be held accountable for that. So that is our demand number one.
Okay, that's primary demand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demand number two is we need citizens to be empowered through what committees and area sabhas.
Which is already happening. For a long time they've appointed ward committees and
Yeah, but we have toothless ward committees.
Absolutely.
The Brand Bengaluru committee, constituted by none other than the Congress government itself, have given quite a few recommendations around how the ward committees should function. So 2 or 3 key aspects there are, number one, the ward committee should have the power to develop the ward development plan, number one. Number two, the ward committees should have the power to oversee projects. And number 3, the ward committee at any point of time should have the power to audit projects. So ward committees are then entrusted with true power, not to usurp power from anybody else, but to act as a balance for everything that's happening. Area Sabhas have never been constituted, even though it's mandated in the BBMP Act and it's proposed in the GBGB also. It's never been implemented.
Can you explain GBGB?
Greater Bengaluru
Governance Bill.
Yeah, we call it GBGB.
Right.
Yeah, that's the term that we've been using because Greater Bengaluru Governance Bill is a very long term.
Right.
So GBGB sounds a little bit easier on the tongue as well. So we want proper implementation of ward committees and area sabhas as per the recommendations of the Brand Bengaluru committee itself. So that is demand number 2 that we have. Demand number 3.
And even as you make this demand, you're fully aware that no government in the past has really got the right people to represent them in the ward committees.
Absolutely.
They usually fill it up with their supporters,
Absolutely.
with their chelas and
friends and relatives and all
so
those people.
okay, so you would like it to
and
be
that's exactly what we are fighting against.
Okay, so you would like to be functional, as a true democracy, it should be a functional body.
Ward committee with proper powers. I don't want overarching powers, but the basic required powers for them to function effectively and complement the corporator and the council to deliver good projects on the ground. Demand number 3, Schedule 12 of the Indian Constitution lists out 18 municipal functions, which means these are functions that are to be administered by the municipality, not by the state government, not by the central government.
Absolutely.
Interestingly, this includes functions like water supply, fire services, town planning, apart from solid waste
Solid
management,
waste
footpaths,
management, footpaths.
drains. But what many people don't know is even water supply is listed in Schedule 12 of the Indian Constitution as a municipal subject. And what these guys have been consistently doing at the state government is one by one they are usurping each of these from the municipality and putting it into the government by creating parastatals. Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board, BDA.
So this is
BMWML.
not a government X or Y. So I think successive governments don't feel too comfortable when there is an elected BBMP.
Yes.
So on some pretext or the other, because even the previous government,
The BJP government.
yeah, even then they had delayed it.
Absolutely.
So it's no mystery really, because every government feels some kind of discomfort when there is a strong city
Elected
government.
council, as I said, they feel that as they feel insecure, they feel that there's another power center.
Although many of the MLAs have been at one time corporators. Suresh Kumar was a corporator.
Correct.
Ramlinga Reddy was a corporator.
Yeah.
There have been so many of them who have been once corporators.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still they feel uncomfortable
Yes.
when there is a full
Probably
corporation.
because of that, they
Because
feel
of
that,
that.
you know, they don't want to let go of any power to the corporators.
Any other demand that you have?
And the fourth demand is BBMP election itself. As you rightly said, whether it's the BJP government or the Congress government, or for that matter even JDS, I don't think any of these governments or the MLAs of these parties are interested in conducting the BBMP elections. And the way they keep delaying it is a standard operating
It's
procedure,
standing operating.
which is delimitation and reservation.
Absolutely.
They keep announcing a new delimitation, new reservation, and because of that, the State Election Commission cannot hold the elections.
Okay.
So we want one clause to be introduced in the Greater Bengaluru Governance Bill, which mandates that the State Election Commission can conduct the election as per the previously available delimitation and reservation if the government has not freshly notified a new delimitation and reservation
Alright.
at the end of the tenure of a municipal council.
All right. So
If
you're
that
saying
happens-
do all that so that we can have a functional democracy in the city.
Absolutely. Because today, what is happening is we don't have an elected BBMP council, no corporators. Those functions people don't know who to go to. There is no accountability, there is no transparency. And in all of this, how can an MLA who's already, let's say, burdened with many other things, do a good job of this also? Just because they want to retain control, we can't let the city suffer. So that's our fourth demand. Hold BBMP elections on time.
Any
every
other
time.
major demands? These are your main demands.
These are main demands. Everything else gets subsumed under that. For example, when we want all these functions to come under BBMP, we don't want a Greater Bengaluru authority.
Okay. So today you held a protest and you held a fast.
Exactly.
So will this continue or is this a one-off protest and fast?
This is, I would say, the first step. This is just the starting point as far as we are concerned.
Okay.
I know that this is going to be a long battle. I know you have rightly hit the nail on the head. When there is no intent on the part of any of the governments, whether it's Congress or BJP, to either conduct the BBMP elections, or even if they conduct it, they have no intent to decentralize and devolve powers to the corporation and the mayor. So they want to retain control, which means we have to fight against these fundamentally violative of constitution principles, and we have to keep focusing on that. So from our perspective, we are here to fight this battle for however long it takes. Ultimately, we want a truly empowered corporation which can be accountable to the citizens, in which citizens can participate, and something that the citizens can ultimately hold accountable.
So you want a greater Bengaluru governance bill that is truly user friendly,
Yes.
and that is more citizen friendly.
Absolutely.
So with this we come to the very end of this program. Thank you for joining us. So let me sum up. Mr. Narasimhan fighting for a greater Bengaluru governance bill that is more user friendly, more citizen friendly, that will ensure greater democracy. Can the government listen to him? This is the big question. Thank you.